Hi, welcome to Mental Health Tips Session 11. Yeah, and this session is going to be dedicated to relationship. Why relationship? Because a lot of pain comes from relationship. Is that correct? Yes. Relationship can give you joy, and relationship can give you a lot of pain. We know that. And even if that relationship is a close relationship, so loved ones, yet it doesn't mean that you won't have pain. In fact, you can have a lot of pain because you love the person. You see, pain can come from relationship very easily. And from my observation, the intelligence to manage relationship is insufficient through IQ. You cannot just use IQ, or even EQ is still not sufficient, because these are all personal intelligences that helps us to manage our personal interiority. But when it comes to relationship, you're managing somebody else. You have to get into another level of intelligence. I call that as collaborative intelligence. I've written a book on this. You can check it up in Amazon, Collaborative Intelligence. Of course, that was written in the direction of using it at the corporate level. So you will find Collaborative Intelligence, CQ at Work. That's the title. And you can get into the title. You can also go to eCentral and get the ebook. eCentral Reader is the app where you can get the book. So this subject called Collaborative Intelligence is an intelligence actually, which is matching for us to have control on relationship. So because we are in a deprived state right now without much knowledge of CQ or collaborative intelligence. So we got to use IQ and EQ to manage all this, and also the heart intelligence to manage all this. So somewhere we lose the control. Because of that, we enter into a lot of mental issues. So relationship can give a lot of mental issues. We know that. We know that. Because it is pain. We are talking about pain here. Then we want to find what is the best way to manage relationship and how can we reduce this pain. Yeah. Now, usually what happens in a relationship, how does that pain come? Usually conflict happens. A conflict happens, a difference in opinion, difference in idea. You see, there are 4 stages of, you can say, disagreement that can happen. 4 stages of conflict. First is, it could be just an intellectual conflict. That means difference in terms of ideas, that's all. It's just intellectual. And that's very common. We are all different. We can have different ideas. That's okay. It's okay to have someone disagree with us, isn't it? As long as it doesn't move to the second stage of the conflict, which is emotional. From intellectual, what happens is, if you're not careful, it goes into emotional conflict. Now, that's the beginning to the pain from relationship. So if you are not aware, it will move into personality clash, personality conflict. It's not about the idea anymore. It's about me and you. I am right, you are wrong. So the ego has taken over at the 3rd stage. But people are not aware. They're not aware how this thing is, this what you call as this energy is dropping in the relationship. The chemistry is dropping in the relationship and people are not aware. Why not aware? Because IQ cannot catch it. EQ also cannot catch it. Only through CQ we can catch it. So usually what happens, we miss it and it goes to personality clash. And when there is more of that, more personality clash, naturally it will go to the 4th stage, which is called as the rejection. Rejection stage is, I feel peaceful if I don't see you. Life becomes better if you're not there. So that's rejection. So it can happen between husband and wife, and you call that as divorce. It can happen between employee and employer, or boss and staff resigns, or boss terminates the staff. They don't want to see each other. So it's like that. Now, when you arrive at the fourth stage, rejection stage, but you are a family there, or it's an important relationship, there you have problem. That's where the problem comes in. And we go into suffering. So you got to stay together, yet it's in a rejection state. So listen carefully. I'm going to go through some sessions here and give you full understanding of the wisdom. How do you actually manage this in the most effective way? From what I know, most of them are like children over here. They're not aware of a lot of things. They're ignorant about this mechanics of how chemistry works. They don't know about the social brain, how the social brain works. Let me just talk to you about social brain a little bit. It's a new discovery in the field of neuroscience, where they found that actually we have this part of the brain that is actually calculating, computing, and reading threat through relationship. So it is reading threat and at the same time seeking for hope from relationship. So there is this interaction that's going on between the brain. You may not be aware, the other person may not be aware, but the social brain is talking within itself from one brain to the other. This is based on research. So that's where sometimes you notice outside we say something, but internally we are saying something else. Somebody else is saying something on the surface, but deep down they're saying something else. So the social brain is the one that's talking. It looks like it's in a very subconscious state or in an intuitive state where it is talking something else. So if you are very aware, then you can read the subconscious language. Outside they'll say yes, inside actually they're saying no. You know what? Wow, that's the most dangerous statement in relationship now. After an argument, you know what? Finish. They are moving to the next stage. It could be either the personality stage or they're going into the rejection state. You know what? I think we have to stop here. The relationship has to stop here, something like that. So you see, people are not very aware of this social brain that is working, that is reading threat, that is producing the insecurity in relationship. So all this has created a kind of culture now, like a living in relationship, and so on. Don't marry first, just a family, but you don't need to marry. Just stay together. You don't have to get married. So I'm not saying it's good or bad. This is what has happened today out of the communication that's happening between social brain that is reading a lot of insecurity. So come back to this. I'm talking about being aware of the chemistry behind our communication that's going on during a conflict. There was this case, is a real case that happened. One of my student, this lady, she said, I've got a problem. And my problem is this. Almost every day, I will have a war with my husband because of some issues. And most of the time, it's about this toothpaste. You see, we have agreed that you have to roll the toothpaste from behind, but he will press it in the middle. That's against our agreement. And he will do it and do it and do it continuously. So you see, sometimes these men, they don't look at all this. It's very important. You see what we agree. We have to just do. So she's saying all this. So it's a problem. How to change my husband? He's asking. I'm always having this stress early in the morning with him. Not only this, many other things also. So what to do? Please tell me, Mr. Vasu. So I asked her, okay, let me just ask you this question. Let us see what's more important. Is the toothpaste more important than the husband, or your husband is more important than the toothpaste? Be clear with that. If the toothpaste is more important, then you make your husband, peace with your husband less important. So toothpaste being rolled from behind is more important than your husband for you. And second question, peace. The early morning peace with your husband is important, or he is wrong. He should not do this. This right and wrong is important. Be very clear. Right and wrong or harmony in the relationship. You can choose. Because if harmony is important, this is a small thing. You can buy another toothpaste and just give it to him. Hey, playfully, you can talk and say, okay, you press in the middle or press wherever you can. Up to you. You're free to press wherever you. Easy to solve the issue because you're damn clear that the harmony in the relationship is more important than right and wrong. Now, this particular point is so important in relationship. Let's grow up here. Whenever you say something, read the undercurrent. What's happening to the chemistry? If you are sensitive to that, you will know what word to use, what is more important that you need to focus and comment. All that can be managed if there is higher collaborative intelligence, where it will allow you to sense the chemistry. You see, the social brain will be able to give positive feedback on what's happening to the chemistry. Now, don't take it lightly. Look at all your relationship issues. Were you going for right and wrong instead of peace? Be very direct with yourself. If you're going for right and wrong and not peace, just know that you need to grow up. Sorry for this. You need to grow up because pain is waiting for you. And you may repeat this 100 times. And for all that 100 times, become aware that peace is more important than right and wrong in relationship. If you can pass here, if you can graduate here, you will have a different playing ground. You see, we choose our playing ground. That will be another session. I will talk about this playing ground, this what you call a playground in relationship. Some people choose a lower playground. Some people know how to run relationship on a higher playground. I will talk about that in the coming sessions, but it's very important. So today, the message for us is become aware of the chemistry. Pay attention to the peace in the relationship. Give importance to that more than right and wrong. Right and wrong is for the ego. And don't let ego come into relationship. You love the person. So when you put the love there, why do you bring the ego also there? So that's not matching. So that's how you bring ego into relationship and contaminate that relationship. Yeah. So I'm a bit hard on this because I know millions of people are going through pain in relationship because of this one ignorance, this one area of ignorance. Yeah. Yeah. Easy to say, difficult to do, right? Practice, practice, practice. See you in the next session. Bye.